everybody, welcome to episode 3. In episode 3, we're going to clean this bad boy. So, we've got a head start. So I've removed this pan, and this is the pan where the dial face goes into. And there's actually 4 screws, 2 on the top, and then there's one here and one here, and they go into right here. And there's little brass extenders. Comes right off, no problem. There's also a spring ring in here, which is for the faceplate, which we'll have to clean. It's all rusty. So I'm just starting to look around and see how easily this thing cleans up. And just a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, and you'll see that it's starting to shine up real nice already. So next thing we'll do is remove the dial string. And we're going to try to get this tuner free so that we can put it into an ultrasonic cleaner and clean it up. And then we'll work our way backwards. That's the plan. So I'm not going to show you every piece of this. I'm going to show you progress as I go along. So next step is going to be to get this plate off. There's a set screw in there. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. We're going to get this plate off. We're going to remove the dial string, document how it's wound, and then we'll work our way backwards. Okay? Be back. Okay, we got the dial string off. I drew a really quick diagram of how it works. I'll do a more professional one and show you maybe at the end of the video or the next video. But it's a really simple, right? There's 2 springs, they cross over, 2 wraps around right here, comes back in, and they're right there. I've taken off this flywheel right here. It mounts this way. When the gang is fully meshed, those 2 little slits there facing up, fairly straightforward. So our next step is going to be to remove this whole plate here that attaches to this motor and see what we can do there. So that's going to be our next challenge. This is all pretty simple stuff. It's mechanical, right? So it's not that hard. Looks like there's only 3 screws here that hold this plate on. So we're going to get that in a shot at this point. So we'll be back. 4 screws out of this plate. 1, 2, 3, 4. It drops the whole motor assembly. So now I've got the motor assembly right here, and I'm getting really close to the tuning condenser being isolated from the rest of the motor. So that's great. So 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, and this attaches obviously to the motor housing, and we'll have to take that off when we get in here and clean it. Alright, next in our process we're going to remove this top bracket. This top bracket holds this wiring harness that goes to the push buttons. So we're going to get that out of here. And that'll free up one side of the tuning condenser. So we're getting close. Now the difficult part is still ahead of us though, and that's the back end of this thing. So we've got that isolated. But in order to get this tuning cap off, you'll see that there's brass posts there that go into this assembly. We have to remove this flywheel here. So let me take a look at that and see what that entails, and we'll come back. Okay, with the tuning condenser fully meshed, if we look at the assembly, it's almost 12 and 9 o'clock. It's a little bit off there, but that's the position that that this plate needs to be in. I'm going to let me make sure I get good video of this. So it's a little bit to the left of 12 and 9. So I'm going to remove those set screws, and that plate should pull out. And if that plate pulls out, then I should have access to what I need. So let's try that. Okay, I have the set screws loose, but I'm not going to pull this plate out because if you look at these presets, if I start sliding this thing across this piece of phenolic, I'm going to ruin all the contacts. So I think what I need to do is remove these screws, get a focus, here, here, and here, and remove this entire top plate. That should lift up, and then I can pull this plate out. I think that's what we're going to do. Let's try it. Okay, by removing all those screws, including the one in the center that has the light bulb attached to it, I end up with this, and you can see that there's contacts here. And these are the contacts that drive the presets. Got to be careful that you don't lose them when you pull it off, because one of them fell out. You got to put it back in. But that leaves us with this assembly, which is our phenolic wheel. The screws are already loose. Let's see if it'll let me pull it out. It may be a little bit stuck. I may need 2 hands for this. Yeah, let's let's do that. Be right back. Okay, we were able to get it off. It's a little rough here because this piece of brass here has been exposed to the elements all these years, and it's got, it had a buildup, so I had to clean it with some isopropyl alcohol and a little bit of emery cloth so that I can slide this this piece out here. So it was a little bit of a tight squeeze, but we got it out. No damage. Everything's good. So now we're down to the tuning condenser. We are going to remove this plate as well, right here, and make sure that we've got just the piece of that we need here for the tuning condenser. And then what we'll do is we'll remove the mica sheets that are under there, and we'll put it in the ultrasonic cleaner and get this thing looking better. So really not that hard to do this. It looks scarier than it is, honestly. Okay, we'll show you some update when we have it. Just a note, when you go to remove these screws for this plate, there's a brass ferrule that goes behind it, basically a spacer. Okay, if it falls out, that's what it's from. Just a spacer between this and the tuning condenser. If you've never cleaned a tuning condenser before, this is the piece of mica. It's basically a capacitor that you have to remove before you put it in the cleaner. Okay? You don't want to get that in there. It's very, very fragile. Don't touch it. It's a very thin layer of mica, and that's what is required to help fine-tune your radio. Okay, we're going to throw this thing in the bath. Okay, we have this thing in the ultrasonic cleaner. I have the condenser closed. Okay, so I've got everything fully meshed. I did give it a good spray with some simple green, and I've got it in there, and we're going to put it in for probably a couple of minutes. So let's do 480 seconds, and we're going to put some heat on. That's TC, and we're going to start. We're going to let that run through its cycle, just like that. You'll be amazed at how much dirt's going to come out of there. After that's done, we're going to drain the water. We're going to run it again, and we're going to open up the tuning condenser and get those fins nice and clean. We'll come back. Okay, our cleaning just completed. Take a look in there. See all that dirt? I don't know if it comes through on the camera, but there's a lot of dirt in there. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this out, and we can already see that it's much better. We're going to give it a good rinse in the sink. I got this cloth down here just so I don't scratch the sink up, which is metal. I'm going to open up these fins. Like so. Just going to give it a good rinse. So we're going to put that there. We're going to open up our tuning condenser all the way. We're going to give it a good spray with some simple green. Simple green is a degreaser also. So keep in mind that when you get done with this, you have to re-grease it, right? Because these things do require lubrication. But we're giving it a good douse to get some of that grease off, especially around the brass fittings there. Okay, that's enough. I'm going to put that back in the ultrasonic cleaner. Alright, and in she goes again for another 8 minutes with heat. Heat is on. Start. Alright, we'll be back. Okay, our second pass is done. And let's see how she looks. She looks really good, actually. Nice and clean. I'm going to put it through one more time. I'm not going to show you all that. I'm just going to take a little bit of a brush here and help this brass arm a little bit. Get those bearings nice and clean. I do notice we have a little bit of rust here. We're going to have to put some maple jelly on that and get rid of that. But for the most part, this thing is cleaned up really, really well, as I expected it would. Okay, so we're going to let that go through one more cycle. Then we're going to put the other pieces that are submersible in the same process. All the other metal pieces, like the pan that holds the dial plate and all that stuff. So everything will get a good clean. All right, I'll come back to you when all this is done, and you'll see what everything looks like. Alright everybody, so here's where we are. We've cleaned all the pieces. Here's our tuning capacitor. I'm still shining it up a little bit more work to do. I've been focusing on this piece here, which is the mechanism that you use to set the presets. This thing was completely rusted, all of it. All of these pins were frozen, so I was able to free everything. I've got this polished and waxed and cleaned. I got all the rust off of it, and just working on the bottom a little bit more. And these are the contacts right here that go inside these little holes here, and these are the contacts that actually right there, let's see if we can get a focus on that. Those are the contacts that hit this wheel, and that's how you get your presets. So we're going to do a little bit more work cleaning all this up and all this. We're then going to put some clear coat on this. We're going to put some tape over the fins. We don't want to get anything on there, but we're going to put some clear coat on the tuning cap so that we protect it. It doesn't rust anymore. Got a little bit more rust removal to do here too. I'm going to leave this motor for the next episode because I think this motor alone warrants an entire episode. This is the piece that is most important on this radio, is the motor. The motor's in great shape, but it needs to be taken apart and cleaned. And I'm going to show you how to do that after I learn. But this is going to be in our next episode. And just to close the loop, I did draw up our dial string guide, and I'll leave it there for a second if you want to take a screenshot. That's how that works. And we're going to continue cleaning. So we're moving along pretty rapidly at this point. So once we get all this stuff done, we'll start to reassemble. But again, next episode, we're going to focus on this. This is going to be what I do today, is get this thing addressed. All right? Everybody have a great day. We'll see you in episode 4. Take care.